Hey pilot, Drain Man here, and today I got a very special video. Today I'm going to show you guys how to set up Crossfire SHOT, aka CRSF-SHOT. And it's a new deal going on where it's cutting out about 95% of variable latencies, and you're getting your latency somewhere around 0%. That's what's advertised. That's what they're telling us. I haven't tested it myself to know if it's true. I'm going to set it up for the first time with you guys. I'm going to show you guys how to set it up. There is instructions on how to set it up, but who wants to read the instructions when we can just watch a video and follow along? Plus, that way you can also confirm that you're actually doing it right. So let's not mess around. Let's dive right in. All right, pilots, let's go ahead and dive right in. So the very first thing you're going to need is you are going to need the brand new OpenTX. And I'm going to show you where to get that, and that's right here at OpenTX.org. I will leave a link down in the video description. Now, right here, you're going to see where it says 2.3.5. Go ahead and click on that, and it's going to bring you to this page. And if you scroll down, you'll see right here, it says to install it. I have Windows, so that's the installer that I use. If you have a different program like Macintosh or something, then you will use this one. And if you have a Linux here, all right? The next thing you're going to need is you are going to need the OpenTX nightly build. Go ahead and download that, and I will leave a link in the video description on that. The next thing you're going to need is you are going to need the TBS Agent X. Now, we are going to get that directly from the Team Black Sheep website. If you go into search, you can search TBS Agent X. And it looks like a product, but it's really not. It's actually a download for the actual software. And then if you have a Windows or a Mac, click accordingly. That's going to go ahead and start to download. Now, one thing I want to do is I want to get into our folder. And once we get into here, I'm going to show you guys, go to your documents, go to your FPV folder. If you don't have one, create one, especially dealing with me. I'm going to get you nice and organized. Create a new folder, call it TBS Agent X. All right. And that's where we are going to put this new program. So I'm going to hit show in folder. It's going to pop up, and we're going to hit extract, and it's going to want to send it to downloads. Go ahead and change that, and we're going to go to documents, FPV, and as you know, we just created a brand new folder. So go ahead and put that in there. So now you'll have the next thing that you need. So now you have OpenTX, you've got the nightly build, and you've got the TBS Agent X. You are also going to need the newest SD card content, and you are going to be able to find that right back on this same exact website. Right here it says the new SD card contents for 2.3.5. Go ahead and click that link. You're going to need to pick what you have. So what radio do you have? And then pick accordingly. All right, go ahead and click, and then based off the version that you want, of course we want what's newest, and that is going to be the V0025. Boom. So now we've downloaded that. Okay, pilots, so once your SD cards are downloaded, go ahead and hit show in folder. And that's going to pop up, and you'll see right here, this is everything that we've just done, but here's those SD card contents. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to go to my documents, I'm going to open it in a new window, and I'm going to go to FPV, and I actually have a folder called SD card contents. And as you'll see here, these are all the old school SD card contents. I'm going to create a new folder, and I'm going to call it 2.3.5. Boom. And then I would like to move all of this to there. Now that we've downloaded everything that we need, including the Agent X, now we can move forward with the actual setting up of it. So the very first thing we want to do is we want to open up OpenTX, and we have a new OpenTX that we just downloaded together. That is the 2.3.5. Now from here, we will be able to go ahead and flash our radio with the new firmware. All right, pilots, so the very next thing we need to do is we need to go ahead and flash our radio with the newest firmware. If you don't know how to do this, I've got a full playlist on how to do it, but I'm going to flow through it real quick. You're going to need this USB cord. It's like the old school style. It's a type B. It'll have a B on it. If you don't know where to get this or you don't have one, I will put a link down in the video description so you can go ahead and find it. So what you're going to need to do is hold your 2 trim centers in and then power on the radio. Now, whether you have a QX7 or whatever, it's pretty much the same thing. Once you've powered on, you'll now be in your bootloader, and then you'll take your cord and you'll go ahead and you'll plug it in the back. Before we actually flash the firmware, we need to unzip the file or unzip the download that we just previously downloaded for the nightly build. That's what we need to get on this radio. If you're unfamiliar with nightly builds, that's okay. I'm not going to get into it right now. But what you need to do is you need to find this file that we downloaded. You would have clicked it out of the video description. Go ahead and double click on that, and it's going to want you to unzip it. Click extract. Now, keep in mind, it is going to try to just dump it anywhere. As you see, it's trying to put it in my downloads folder. Don't let this just go anywhere where you can't find it, and then you're going to be in trouble. So go ahead and click the 3 dots. I am going to go to my documents, FPV, and inside of OpenTX, I've actually got a folder called updating firmware, and I'm going to click OK, and I'm going to put it in there. So now that's where it is. We should be good to go on that. Now, coming back to OpenTX Companion, the new one, 2.3.5, come up here to the top left. It says read write. Click that, and we're going to click write firmware to radio. Now we need to load the newest firmware, or aka the nightly build. So click load, and then you'll see in here the OpenTX nightly. I'm going to click that, and in here is all of the different ones that we just downloaded. Now, normally you wouldn't have them all like this. You would have just downloaded the one that you need. And if you're familiar and you want to learn a little bit more about your radio, your FR Sky, your T16, I've got videos on this stuff, guys. I'll put them down in the video description. So me, I have the X9D Plus. So I'm going to go ahead and get the X9D Plus in English. This looks like that's the regular, there's the plus. So this is what I need. So this is what I'm going to click on, and I'm going to hit open. All right, so once you've loaded your firmware, the next thing to do is to click write to TX. But before I do that, I have a custom splash screen, and I did go through the steps on how to set this up. Me, I don't want it to mess me up. It's about to flash this boo-boo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to click use another start screen, and I have the one that I created right here, and I'm going to hit open. So that's what I'm going to flash. So when I turn on my radio, that's what I'm going to see. And yes, this is how you do it. It's that simple, but I do have a video on it just so you don't get lost. All right, here we go. Write to TX. All right, pilots, there we go, 100%. We're all done. I'm going to hit close. Let's go ahead and confirm that we actually updated this properly. And once you've disconnected it from the computer, go ahead and shut it off. We want a power cycle. And you'll see here that it's converting the EEPROM.
Oh yeah, that was the right switch.
There we go. We didn't lose nothing. Oh, look, test build. It's letting us know we are on a nightly build. No big deal. All right, pilots, so now that we are in, we are live, we have our new firmware on the radio. We want to confirm that it's true and that it did work. So what you'll do is you'll hold down the menu button. That's going to take you here to the radio setup, and then hold down page. And when you get here, you're going to get to see what you got. And as you can see, we are on version TBS, baby. So we have updated the brand new firmware. We are rocking and a-rolling. We are going to go ahead and leave it in the on position, and we're going to go ahead and plug in the same USB cord. And what that's going to do is it's going to give us the option for joystick or USB. Go ahead and click USB. All right, so now you'll see what popped up right here on the screen is the USB drive G. And if I open in a new window, you'll see that this is everything that is on my radio. So now I am accessing the radio as if it was just an SD card. And yes, you can just pull the SD card out of the radio and access it like that. That's totally fine. So what we're going to do now is I'm going to open up 2.3.5, and you'll see here we have new SD card contents, and we need to go ahead and get those onto the radio. First thing we need to do is we need to unzip it. So I'm going to hit extract, and we are going to go to exactly where it wants us to go. All right, so once that's done, now you'll see here we've got everything. We no longer need this zip. You can go ahead and delete that. All right, so now that that's deleted, what we can do is we can move all of this stuff over and get it onto here. What you'll notice is here I've got a couple extra folders, and those are my Lua scripts. And if you don't know anything about Lua scripts, you don't know how to put on Lua scripts, I've actually got a video for that. I will link that down in the video description. I'm going to go ahead and click from here to here, and I'm going to delete these things. All right, so now as you'll see, all those things are gone, and I am just left with these last few things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everything and I'm just going to move it over and drop it. And this is going to take a while, so be patient. I'm going to go ahead and speed through mine. All right, Pod, so with that being done, you can go ahead and close that out, and then you can demount the radio.
Welcome to OpenTX.
All right, so with that being done, the next thing we need to do is we can close all this out, and we need to go ahead and open up our Agent X. There you go. So there it is right there. We'll go ahead and launch it. Yes, I know the screen went black. And now we're going to install it, and then once we're done, we'll be able to open it up and final out the last part. So now you've got the new one. What you want to go ahead and do is you want to plug your radio in, but you're going to plug in this time right here on the back. You are going to see where your Crossfire is, depending which one you have. You might have the full size, you might have the light, you might have the micro, doesn't matter. Take your micro USB and plug it into the computer. If you didn't see it before, don't let it startle you. As you know, mine didn't show it either, but once we plugged the micro TX into the PC, it popped right up. It's right here. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and click Manage. Before you click Manage, up here at the right next to Log Out, you'll see three little dots. Click those, and down here you're going to see where it says Include Beta Firmware. I don't have to do that because I've already selected mine, but all you got to do is click that button and hit Save. Then you're going to click Manage. Now once you get in here to the Manage, you can change your max power and all kinds of other stuff. I'm not going to get into that right now. All I want to do is set up my firmware. So I'm going to click Firmware, and then we want to get the newest firmware put on our radio. Alright, so now that you're inside of here, you're going to see right here where it says beta. Now mind you, back when all this went down, it was 3.25. That is not even available right now, and I'm somewhere around 2.88. So I am way out of date. So what I want you to do is click the newest one. It doesn't matter. You might be watching this video 6 months from now. Click Update to the newest firmware. Doesn't matter which one it is. You're going to need that if you want the latest and the greatest. There is a delayed start when you click it. Don't freak out. Let it do its thing. Once you're all set and done, you can go ahead and disconnect your micro TX from the computer. So I'm going to click on Configure, I'm going to click on Firmware and come back, and I'm going to double check, and you'll see right here where it says Current, it lets me know that I'm on the latest firmware. That's a quick way to check and make sure that your micro did upgrade. I'm going to also go to my Configure, and I'm going to change my max power over to 250. You don't have to do that, but you can if you want to. Now I'm going to exit out and I'm going to demount. Alright pilot, so after you have connected your quadcopter and you've rebound your nano receiver or your micro receiver for Crossfire and it's updated the firmware wirelessly, now you are 100% running the new CRSFSHOT protocol. I hope that you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you on the next one.
We will conquer all the oceans you can name. No, we